Looks like you need a bit more practice. Another lesson, perhaps? Impressive. That was a very good game. Would you care to play again? Another time, then, perhaps. Excellent. Let the game begin. I always have time for a good game of Caravan. I hope you're up to the challenge. Goodbye. Something I can help you with, soldier? It's good to see such an outstanding citizen of the NCR. What can I do for you, my friend? It's good to have a friend of the NCR here. What can I do for you? Well, if it isn't the loose cannon that's been wandering the Mojave Wasteland. What do you want? I didn't expect to see you here. I hope you're not here to cause trouble. You're the last person I expected to see here. This better be good. What do you want? Ah, hello. I trust you have something to report concerning the Freeside situation. Greetings, friend. Something I can help you with? Hello again. What can I do for you this time? I don't have anything more to say to you. You can show yourself out. Oh, very well then. What else can I do for you? I was elected to this post 7 years ago. I'm the third NCR representative to serve here in Vegas. Now, I've had my share of ups and downs along the way, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. That's it. Anything else you wish to know? Oh, yes. Sure. Ask away. Now we mostly just keep track of the NCR citizens and troopers around and make sure they don't get in trouble, but that's Captain Papa's job. I keep myself busy with paperwork and reports that get sent back to the NCR. It's mostly busy work, but every once in a while we make progress. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible so we don't waste each other's time. The NCR is in a bit of a tight spot with all that's going on with Mr. House and the Legion, and despite your reputation and previous actions with the NCR, we could use your help. You may have a penchant for getting into trouble, but I'd recommend against that here. The Securitrons on the Strip aren't to be trifled with. Perhaps I'll have Captain Papas keep an eye on you. For your own safety, of course. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us. Unfortunately, the boomers keep to themselves and are, let's say, hostile to all outsiders. That's why I need someone like you. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. Do you think you would be able to do this for me? I'm sorry that you think so. However, if you do happen to change your mind, you can find me here at the embassy. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. The NCR is in a bit of a tight spot with all that's going on, and I need someone like you to help me. To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. And if you prove to be a loyal and capable agent, well, let's just say there's a lot of work to be done. And the NCR is a good friend to have. I'm glad you could make it. I have something I wanted to discuss with you. It's a very important matter, and I have a strong feeling you're the perfect person for the job. You received my message. Good. I realize that it may seem a little strange that I'm contacting you, considering your reputation, but I have a business proposition I'd like to discuss with you. In any event, I have another assignment ready and waiting for you, but we can speak of it later. Rest up, and when you're ready, speak to me again. If that's all you came here to talk about, you're wasting my time. Get to the point or get out of my office. That's disappointing. They could have been a big help to us. I guess we'll just have to do without. I seriously doubt that it would be in my best interest to discuss the NCR with someone of your reputation. Interested in politics, huh? Well, grab a seat and get comfortable. I've been in politics quite a while now. I always had the drive to do it even when I was young. It's just something I was drawn to. I started my career over 20 years ago back in the NCR as the local mayor and worked my way up from there. I managed President Kimball's first run for a seat on the council. I suppose that's why I have this ambassadorship. That's disappointing. They could have been a big help to us. I guess we'll just have to do without. That's excellent news. So they'll help us, right? That's great. They're going to give us an advantage in the battle ahead. Excellent work. I can't tell you how useful that will be. Please let me know as soon as you can. Ah, I see you received my message. Good. I had something important to discuss with you. I'm sure you've noticed that things are a little tense around here with all the issues between the NCR, the Legion, and Mr. House. To be honest with you, the NCR is in a tight spot. But if we fail now, it's the people here that are going to suffer the most. I'm not willing to let that happen, and I don't think you're the kind of person that would either. It doesn't take a genius to see that something big is going to happen soon. Let me know as soon as you have an answer from them. Excellent. Come back after you've spoken to them. They should see the benefits of helping us in the long term. Sorry to hear that, but do me a favor and give it some more thought. I'll be here if you change your mind. Much appreciated. Once you've talked to them, come back and let me know if they will help us. I'm glad to see you've given it some more thought. So are you willing to go talk to them and see if they will help us? Thanks for doing this. Remember, we need their resources to help us in the upcoming battle. Do whatever it takes. I hope you've returned with good news. Are they willing to help the NCR? What's the word with the boomers? Have you talked to them yet? It's the same old stuff around here. Gambling, debauchery, drunkenness. It's all here. I'm getting a little old for it, however. If you want more information, try talking to some of the other guys around here. I don't get out of the office much anymore. I can provide a quick history lesson, if that's what you're looking for. In 2274, President Kimball sent the NCR Army into the Mojavean force with the objective of occupying and repairing Hoover Dam. Rangers and Army scouts had confirmed that the dam was basically unoccupied and could be restored to an operable condition. Upon arriving at the dam, however, they discovered that a large force of tribals and robots had occupied it. This was our introduction to the three families, the Securitrons and, of course, Mr. House. Using his Securitrons as intermediaries, Mr. House called for parley. He claimed his forces had occupied Hoover Dam in order to safeguard it for our arrival, and that he was ready to turn it over to us, so long as we could agree to terms. Those terms became the Treaty of New Vegas. The treaty recognized Mr. House's sovereignty over the Strip and granted us rights to establish military bases at the dam and McCarran Airport. The NCR is legally permitted to send 95% of the electricity produced by the dam to our home states. The remaining 5% goes to the Strip. The treaty actually makes it illegal for the NCR to prevent its citizens or troops on furlough from visiting the Strip. Once on the Strip, our citizens are subject to arrest or punishment by House's Securitrons, though that's a rare occurrence. Our troops enjoy a different status. It's illegal for the Securitrons to take action against them. Of course, it's also illegal for our troops to carry firearms on the Strip, so there isn't much trouble they can get into. Our military police does an adequate job of keeping the troops on furlough in line. I don't envy them that task. The embassy was established a few weeks after the treaty was signed. Basically, Mr. House handed us a dumpy little building he had no interest in renovating. I'm the third ambassador to hold this post, and the first, I think, to accept its limitations. My predecessors had ambitions of engineering the annexation of the Mojave. They thought they'd convince Mr. House to join up. I've never even spoken to the man, or whatever he is. Maybe the situation will change once we've beaten the Legion once and for all. Goodbye. I wish you luck. If you run into some difficulty and think you'd rather just take the shot with Pacer, that's fine too. That could be useful. But I'm afraid I don't have the background and know how to take advantage of that knowledge. As I told you before, that could be useful information, but I don't know how to take advantage of it. If that's what you prefer, I won't stop you. Just remember to try to find a way to do it that doesn't lead back to the NCR. If it just doesn't look possible to make the kill without drawing attention, don't forget there's always the diplomatic approach. Go and talk to the king. Try to convince him to put an end to this violence. Pacer's a punk, but he won't likely disobey a direct order. The king might not be open to the idea at first, so you may have to integrate yourself with him. Do whatever it takes. When it's done, one way or the other, report back here and we'll take it from there. No doubt Colonel Moore's approach will produce results. Just be ready to duck when the bullets start flying. I trust that Shu will deal with the matter thoughtfully. Regardless, stay on your toes. There's no telling what will happen. Remind me never to get on your bad side. If that's true, then yes, that would be a suitable way to get rid of him. It looks like you have things well in hand, so I'll leave you to it. I doubt it. I've seen junkies live for decades on this stuff. You'd be better off asking someone who knows about these things. Damn it, I'm an ambassador, not a doctor. You'll have to find some other way. I'm afraid I can't be much help in this matter. My specialty is people and politics, not medicine. Well, then don't waste any more time here. Get going. He's Caucasian, in his mid-30s, and extremely charismatic. It's that last part we're counting on. The Kings are a bunch of young hoodlums who aren't inclined to listen to anyone except him. Get him on your side, and the rest will fall in line. Oh, I've already heard. The Kings are up in arms. The entire area is gripped by chaos, and the violence has only increased. In fact, I've heard that many are assuming the NCR did it without even looking into the matter. This is the worst thing that could possibly happen. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm sure something will turn up. If you think you found something but are unsure, report back and I'll let you know if it's something we can use. It may be tough to find a way to completely throw off suspicion, however. Killing two birds with one stone. Excellent. You've done a great service for the NCR. Now, you're probably wondering about your reward. This has been something of a hot-button topic, so I was able to secure this for you. Well, I don't officially have access to any more funds, but here. This is from me personally. There's more coming your way, too. I'm sorry, but those are the only funds I was able to allocate. You'll have to make do with it. Besides, you may have other tasks soon. Oh, I like the Colonel just fine. She's a good soldier, one of the best. I just don't think her general approach to things is a good fit here. See, the Colonel likes to solve things neatly, quickly, and efficiently through a show of force if possible and through actual force if necessary. That won't work here. Unless she plans on killing half the population of Freeside, sending soldiers to the area will only make things worse. That could be useful, but I'm afraid I don't have the background and know how to take advantage of that knowledge. I'd suggest you speak to Colonel Shu over at Camp McCarran. He's much more level-headed about this sort of thing. He's also in a better position to bargain with the people of Freeside, seeing as how he's in charge of water and power distribution in the area. Still, I'm only mentioning it as an option. My official orders are to direct you to Colonel Moore. Godspeed. More like instigate a mass riot. People there already think the NCR is trying to take this place over. We'd only be confirming their fears. First, our sources have tracked most of the attacks back to a king named Pacer. The consensus is that the violence will stop if he's removed. Good. Our men have come up with 2 different plans for seeing an end to the violence. There is an alternative option, but my sources feel that getting rid of this Pacer fellow is our best shot. The problem is we can't simply kill him. In the current climate, the NCR would likely be blamed for his death. That's an understatement. Still, there's nothing to be done about it now. Maybe the violence will die down once things settle. Here, take this. It's not what I was planning to give you, but you deserve some sort of payment for your efforts. Oh, and one other thing. Remind me never to get on your bad side. If that's true, then yes, that would be a suitable way to get rid of him. However, it would involve gaining access to his personal drug stash and tampering with it unseen, which might pose a challenge. I doubt it. I've seen junkies live for decades on this stuff. You'd be better off asking someone who knows about these things. So I did. As you may have noticed, our position here in New Vegas is tenuous. We've made great strides, sure, but the NCR is not welcomed here, merely tolerated. And even then, not by everyone. We've had reports of violence against NCR citizens in a neighborhood just to the northeast called Freeside. Ever been there? Yes. Have you reconsidered? NCR citizens may be dying as we speak in that hellhole. Yes? Do you have something to report? Oh, I've already heard. Pacer is dead. The Kings are up in arms. The entire area is gripped by chaos and the violence has only increased. In fact, I've heard that many are assuming the NCR did it without even looking into the matter. This is the worst thing that could possibly happen. What do you have to say for yourself? Yes. How did it go? Wait a moment, if you would. While sending you to Colonel Moore is what I'm officially supposed to do, I'd like to propose an alternative. Also, Colonel Moore has requested your presence at Hoover Dam again. No doubt she has further work for an individual with your skill set. I'm afraid I don't have any further assignments that would suit you, so you should probably go see her at your earliest convenience. Also, I've been directed to send you on to Colonel Moore at Hoover Dam. She's been following my reports on your exploits with some interest. As I don't have any further assignments for you, I'd recommend going to see her if you need more work. I've received a message from Colonel Moore up at Hoover Dam. She's been following your exploits and has requested that you meet with her. You're not officially in the employ of the NCR, so there's nothing forcing you to go. But I'd go see her sooner rather than later. The Colonel is not someone you want to keep waiting. I'm afraid I can't be much help in this matter. My specialty is people and politics, not medicine. Violence is something of a way of life there, but there's been a disturbing rise in the number of attacks on our people lately. More worrying is the fact that our sources suggest the violence is being perpetrated by the gang that runs the place, the Kings. I need someone to look into this that won't attract attention. Would you be interested? In that case, we could take a different tact, but one that I at least have more experience with. Diplomacy. If we can't go after the man responsible, we'll simply appeal to the man above him. The Kings, including our friend Pacer, report to the leader of their gang, a man who calls himself the King. You better believe I'm mad. You waged a one-man campaign to drag our good name through the mud, and I'll be held accountable. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Ugh. This is what I get for hiring an idiot to do such an important job. Here, just take this and go. I have damage control to do. Wait, I'm supposed to send you to Colonel Moore up at Hoover Dam. The why she wants to see an imbecile like you is beyond me. So go to Hoover Dam and see Colonel Moore. Got it? Hoover Dam, Colonel Moore. Maybe it's time to retire. It's a beastly place. Poverty is rampant and all that goes with it. Drugs, alcohol abuse, the usual. Good. Shu's a man you can count on to handle a crisis. I'm just glad that things didn't end in violence. Here, this is what remains of the funds initially allocated for this operation. Is it that obvious? You must understand that while Colonel Moore's job is to get things done, my job is to represent the NCR's best interests. At least you got the sense to know you've screwed up. I'll probably be cleaning toilets by the end of the week. But you'll be busy too. I understand. Sometimes these things take time. Remember, do what you can to gain the man's trust. Then you'll have your chance. I would, but I'm afraid the rest of the work in my queue pertains to matters I'll have to deal with personally. You do have another option, however. Either kill Pacer in a way that doesn't lead back to us, or talk the king into quelling the violence. It's not really that hard to remember. In any case, I expect to hear good news about this in the future. Keep me informed of your progress. See? That's exactly the type of information we can use. In fact, that's perfect. Those fancy weapons the Van Graffs peddle aren't exactly common. However, if Pacer were killed with either a laser or plasma-based weapon, everyone would automatically assume the Van Graffs did it. Still, unless you want several dozen armed men at your throat, you'd have to kill him without being seen. Be careful. It goes without saying that actually getting the Van Graffs to do the deed would be the ideal solution. I'll leave the method up to you. However, there is an alternative if you'd rather try to handle things without bloodshed. Violence is something of a way of life there, but there's been a disturbing rise in the number of attacks on our people lately. More worrying is the fact that our sources suggest the violence is being perpetrated by the gang that runs the place, the Kings. I need someone to look into this that won't attract attention. Would you be interested? How unexpected. I was sure direct confrontation would lead to more fighting, but I'm delighted to be proven wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if you had something to do with the situation not flaring up either. Here, I'm sure you deserve every one of these caps. Good show. With the conditions there, no one will suspect anything other than bad drugs to be the culprit. You've done a great service for the NCR. Now, you're probably wondering about your reward. This has been something of a hot-button topic, so I was able to secure this for you. Oh, I see. You're proud of your efforts, huh? Thankfully, it looks like we won't be working together any longer. That's too bad. Come back if you change your mind. I'm sure you can see yourself out. I'm inclined to agree, but it's a slum with NCR citizens in it. And as such, it falls under my jurisdiction. Make it look like an accident, or pin the deed on someone else. Look into this guy's affairs, and I'm sure you'll find something you can use. That's great to hear. He's got a lot of sway in Freeside, so we can expect a dramatic drop in violence soon. Now, you're probably wondering about your reward. This has been something of a hot-button topic, so I was able to secure this for you. Damn it, I'm an ambassador, not a doctor. You'll have to find some other way. See, that's exactly the type of information we can use. In fact, that's perfect. Those fancy weapons the Van Graffs peddle aren't exactly common. However, if Pacer were killed with either a laser or a plasma-based weapon, everyone would automatically assume the Van Graffs did it. Still, unless you want several dozen armed men at your throat, you'd have to kill him without being seen. Be careful. It goes without saying that actually getting the Van Graffs to do the deed would be the ideal solution. I'll leave the method up to you. However, there is an alternative if you'd rather try to handle things without bloodshed. That's terrible. I suppose the violence against our people will stop, though. I'll have to spend much of the remaining funds for this operation on damage control, but I can spare this much as compensation for your efforts. That's most unfortunate. In this circumstance, I've been instructed to send you along to Colonel Moore over at Hoover Dam for further orders. The Colonel will likely send you back to Freeside with a squad of armed men, for all the good that will do. I was afraid this would happen. Freeside will be a little more dangerous for a while, but eventually things will die down. I expect few people will purposely target NCR citizens for some time to come, which is a relief. However, NCR's reputation has taken a huge blow because of this. People are beginning to see not much difference between us and the Legion. I've been authorized to give you this for your efforts. It's not much, but most of the funds for this operation are now going toward damage control. I'm not a violent man myself, so I had our guys come up with an alternate solution on the off chance that our agent-to-be shared my sentiments. You'd remember this one. It's a pit where people are robbed, murdered, or simply go to die. I completely agree. Even if a riot didn't immediately break out, a line will have been crossed. And we'll have made that many more enemies. If it'll get you out of my hair, this is a small price to pay. At least I won't have to put up with you any longer. Reward? You want a reward for setting our diplomatic efforts back a year? It's a beastly place. Poverty is rampant and all that goes with it. Drugs, alcohol abuse, the usual.